Well, hello everybody. How are you doing today? I tell you, I'm so glad to be back with you again. I really am. And I'm always so grateful to have you along with me on this journey. It really means a lot. Now, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And I would like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of TJ's Topics. I tell you, it is certainly a pleasure to be with you once again. I consider it a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to come into your presence on any given occasion. Now, today I do have a topic that I'd like to share with you for a brief moment. And it may be one that you can relate to. The edited version of ourselves. That is what we're going to talk about. The edited version of ourselves. And believe it or not, each and every one of us presents that version of ourselves on a daily basis to many different audiences where we find ourselves in. Be it family, friends, co-workers, in front of our superiors, be it supervisor or anyone else who's in a position of authority. People in the community that we deal with, um, go shopping or, we do business with people. No matter where we are at any given moment, we tend to offer them an edited version of ourselves. Now, how is that the case? Well, I'm going to tell you. First of all, we must define the term edit. Now, what does it mean to edit something? To edit means to prepare any material for publication or presentation by correcting, revising, cutting, rearranging, or enhancing it to improve clarity, accuracy, or impact, essentially making changes to suit a specific purpose or standard. That is the definition of editing. Examples of things that require editing are text, videos, audio, and images. The purpose of editing is to refine, correct, improve, or adapt content for a specific audience. And I want you to put a little pin in that term, in that little phrase right there. A specific audience. See, that's what we're going to focus on right there for the next couple of minutes. Or platform, whether it's a book, film, photo, or digital file. But now going back to a specific audience. See, we're talking about the edited version of ourselves. Now, when we go around certain people, whether it's kinfolks or our buddies, even our significant other, husband or wife or partner, whoever it is, we don't always give them the raw version of ourselves. We don't we don't necessarily give all of ourselves to certain people at certain times. There are various versions of ourselves that we offer to certain people, whether it's an individual or a group, whoever it is. But no one gets the raw version of ourselves at any time. I mean, it doesn't matter who they are. We 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 tend to conceal certain aspects of our personalities and our attitudes, our persona. We try to cover that up a little bit. We want to um, present the best version of ourselves to different people at all times. Like when you go around certain folk, like, for example, if you're going out to dinner, to a nice restaurant or something, whether it's by yourself or with somebody, maybe you may be going out as a couple with someone, or going out with a coworker, eating lunch, or, anything. You don't want to go in there in this restaurant acting a fool, and if you got any sense, you won't. But you try to present the best image of yourself as possible. You try to look your best. You try to be mindful of the language that you use. You don't necessarily want to go out doing a whole lot of cussing and using profanity, if at all possible. Now, it depends on who you're with. If you're with certain people, like your buddies on the street or whatever, you have language that you use around them, your friends and stuff like that, who you're cool with and you hang with. But then there's a certain version of yourself that you present to your parents, your grandparents, or your aunts and uncles, your cousins, family and stuff. When you're around the dining room table, especially like on the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and what have you, when the family gets together, there's a certain image of yourself you present to them. Then there's a certain aspect of yourself that you present to your boss. You definitely want to do your best and present your best to your supervisor on your job, co-workers and the like. Classmates, if you're in school or have been to school, you tend to be more laid back with some of them. But then there are some, like, certain ones that may be uppity or whatever, that you may not let it all hang out with. Teachers and principals and stuff. You're mindful of the image and the version of yourself that you present to them. So, I mean, nobody we deal with in life gets to see every aspect of ourselves. They only see the version of ourselves that we allow them to see. And that's it. They don't get to see it all, because usually these people are not like that close to us anyway, and we're not that close to them. So we allow certain people into certain parts of our lives, but we never allow everybody into every area or every part of our lives, because to do so would mean that they have earned it. They've earned that right to have access to every part of our life. And I don't think too many people live long enough to earn that right. And we don't be around here long enough to give them that right either. So I hope that this offers a little bit of understanding on the importance of keeping certain things to ourselves, and only allow those into our lives, or certain parts of our lives, that we feel most comfortable allowing them, into it. So anyway, that concludes today's topic, the edited version of ourselves. And I tell you what, I certainly did enjoy being with you today. And I look forward to seeing you again, okay? For another version, or should I say another episode of TJ's Topics. I look forward to seeing you again soon, okay? Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with whoever you wish. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. This is Taryn Jerome Harris, reminding you that every round goes higher and higher. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.